Lamar better than Vic? Yes. I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Michael
Larry
Vick.
Bird never had a bad season.
Lamar Chase is going to have 15 touchdowns.
He may still be the best player in the world. All right, now it's showtime. Sports fans, we are live. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, OG the Beast. I got a special guest with me today, man. One of my brothers, my boy Kyle Berry, a.k.a. KB, right? The #1 Bears fan in the world. How you feeling today, K?
Hey, man, I can't complain, brother. I'm doing good. How you feeling? I appreciate you, giving me this chance to talk my stuff. You feel me?
You already know, man. I'm doing good, man. It ain't no thing. I'm always here. We always going to do what we do. We just doing it on a platform now. We talk this shit every single day. Look, man, if you guys are on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us a lot. And it's free for you to do. It's literally free. Just hit that like button. Support your boy if you like what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on all socials, TikTok, Instagram, the whole kid and caboodle. Y'all know what we here to do. And that's talk sports. Something I love to do, something this guy to the left of me loves to do, and we going to do it, right? Now, we going to jump the show off just like this. I'm not going to hold you. There's been a lot of critics coming at the head top of the Chicago Bears and especially Caleb Williams. He's been garbage. And we got high expectations of Caleb Williams. I got high expectations of Caleb Williams, and let's keep it a buck. He hasn't been who we thought he was going to be over the course of the last year or so, right? And then he had a rough start to open the season with. I've been very critical talking my shit about the Bears. They came and played one hell of a game this weekend, showed up and showed out against the Cowboys. I love it because it's against the Cowboys, right? Get them boys another L. 31-14, Caleb Williams goes off, 300 yards, 4 TDs on a day. He looked very decisive, and that's the only thing I've been saying about Caleb. When he starts to draw plays in the mud, plays in the dirt, and he's not abiding by the system put in place by Benjamin, a.k.a. Ben Johnson, he starts to go off script. It looks nasty, man. Let's keep it a buck, right? But I got this guy here specifically to go into detail on what he sees, right, Kay? I want you to let me know what you saw from the Bears this Sunday, what you think they need to improve on, what you liked, what you didn't like, and where can you see this thing going in the future. The floor is yours, my boy. Talk your shit.
Well, first of all, I loved everything the Bears did. It was wonderful. It was a masterpiece. We put our foot deep in the cowgirl's ass, and I loved it. Because a lot of you been talking crazy about the Bears. My quarterback, Caleb Williams, saying, oh, he a diva. This don't look good. I don't like how it look because his nails painted. All this extra. We got out here, and we did what we needed to do. Granted, the Cowboys' defense is garbage. You put me and you out there, we could score about 30 points. Oh, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's just how trash they are. They bottom of the league, them and the Ravens, garbage. But you also got to take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves. Caleb did what he was supposed to. He completed the flea flicker pass, which was great. Luther Burden got him involved. Got Coast and Loveland involved before he got hurt. DJ Moore caught a touchdown because I've been looking for DJ since the season started. Ben Johnson, you got to get him more involved, but I like, the little packages they be having with him. And Roma Dunze looks like the guy. He looked better than Marvin Harrison, but we'll leave that for another day, you feel me? But I'm here to talk about the disrespect on my quarterback name. Like, he only in his second year, and y'all want MVP type stuff? Like, everybody don't do that. It take a little time to grow, get things going. We got Ben Johnson, who looked like a real head coach. We came from Eberflus, who was garbage. I told you he was trash.
You did.
We finally got a real grown man coach, a leader of men, and that's what we need. He holding Caleb accountable. Hey, we need to get in and out this huddle. These are the plays you need to run. This is what you need to do, but it's going to take a little time. We only in week 4. We just finished week 3, and I was seeing a lot of stuff. Get up, first take these things, talking about my quarterback. But It's a lot of young quarterbacks out here struggling. Let me just give you some numbers on Caleb. He 11th in passing yards. He tied for second in TDs. He only got one interception, and he's ninth in QBR. I feel like that's great. A lot of quarterbacks, a lot of y'all will take that for y'all teams if y'all don't rock with the Bears. You got people like Michael Penix Jr. with all the weapons he got, garbage. Completion percentage under 60%. That's trash.
Didn't he get benched too?
Right? Yes. For Kirk Cousins, who can't move no better than me.
Fact.
What you mean? You got all this talent around you. Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Darnell Mooney, who was a dog when he was on the Bears. I wish we could have kept him, but I feel it. He gone. And you only got one touchdown passing, and that was to Bijan, and he had to go 50 yards. It wasn't like you was out here dotting stuff up. You garbage. Bo Nix, all I heard all offseason, the Broncos, they scary. You got to watch out for them. They next up. Bo Nix with Sean Payton is looking real mid. He got the same record as the Bears and Caleb Williams.
That's facts. And I was one of them ones hyping up Bo Nix prior to the season and the Broncos. Yeah. I was on that list for sure.
Oh, I know. You know, I kept the receipts. You know, I like to keep receipts.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? You got to keep the receipts. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was telling me this shit about the Broncos and Bo Nix. It's been looking real mid. You got a lot of weapons. R.J. Harvey, J.K. Dobbins. You got Cortland Sutton, who I mess with in fantasy. You know what I'm saying? And you're not getting it done. 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but it ain't looking good. Your running back had to come out here and pick you up. Oh, no, he didn't miss no throws. We got his back. Woo. It's not all that. Jaden Daniels, all I was hearing, we picked the wrong quarterback. We should have took Jaden Daniels. Where is he at? He missed the game. Knee hurt. What you think he would have did behind that offensive line last year? Been running for his life. Might be hurt. He ain't nothing but skin and bones. My quarterback, you know, he got a little something to him. He can take these hits. We out here, we making it work. Rock. But all I hear is about Caleb. You got C.J. Stroud a couple years ago. He was the taste of the league. He's been garbage.
Facts.
They're 0-3. Daniel Jones is 3-0.
That's something to talk about.
Can we talk about it though?
Danny Dimes is somebody. Hold on. Let's. Danny Dimes is somebody I've always said he hasn't been dealt a fair shake. I've always been on the side of, hey, can we get Daniel Jones some competent help in that offense? He had a great head coach, in my opinion, offensive mind, and Brian Daboll. And his first year with Brian Daboll, he flourished, but they couldn't seem to pick up the pieces after that. Look who he had to work with. Now you get him out of New York, you send him to Indy, and they undefeated.
Yeah, but C.J. Stroud winless. He was the talk of the town. He got weapons. Nico Collins, you know, Christian Kirk just came back. You know, they running back Joe Mixon, who I like a lot. He out right now, but still, you was supposed to be the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. What happened? Ever since you tried to little bro, my quarterback, you've been garbage. They put the numbers out. 19 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, under 4,000 yards since then. Caleb, over 4,000. 27 touchdowns, only 6 picks. What are we talking about? Oh, but, you know, y'all made the playoffs. You got a great defense, but what are you doing to pick your team up? I'm hearing nothing about that. All I hear about is what Caleb could do more in his second year under his third head coach, third different play caller. We not giving him a chance to develop. There is some things he got to work on, playing more on time, getting the ball out quick, not holding the ball when it ain't there, either run, because as we seen in the first couple weeks, you can move with your legs, run and get up out of there. Lamar Jackson it. I'm gone. So the Podmans, you feel me?
Real talk.
But it's not going to be perfect, all I'm saying. I'm here to preach patience. Be smooth.
Okay.
Like I told our friend Mike Beasley, give it some time. It's going to get there. I say by November, middle of December, before Thanksgiving, everything should look the way you want it to look. It might not result in wins because we got some stuff on defense. We missing an All-Pro corner in Jalen Johnson. It's some we need some more pass rush to go with Montez Sweat. So it's gonna be games we might lose, but I want to see us in games. I want to see Caleb doing the things a competent quarterback should do and do the spectacular when need be. It don't have to be spectacular every play. And I'm not saying he's absolved of any criticism, but just keep the same energy. I'm big in keeping the same energy. If you got this energy for Caleb, have it for Michael Penix, who ain't showed you nothing. Bo Nix, CJ Stroud, Drake May, Jaden Daniels when he come back, because the first couple games didn't look all that. It didn't look great. It wasn't like last year. So give my man some time to get it together. Give Ben Johnson his time to get his system in there and work this out so he can conform to Caleb. Now they got to be a marriage. It's a partnership. It ain't just you going to run my system. It got to be, okay, this is what I want you to do, but I see what you like to do. I see this play you like. Let's merge it, put it in this pot gumbo. You know, I like to eat. So let's get it together. We
Hey,
gonna eat. You
hey,
feel me?
hey, man. Hey, I'm not gonna hold you. Hell of a soliloquy. I agree with everything you said, and patience needs to be preached, especially when you're talking about young talent on the offensive side of the ball, a tough position to play, like the quarterback position. A brand new head coach, might I add you, right? So this guy is trying to figure it out, just like Caleb is trying to figure it out, right? They got a new, revamped offensive line. I agree with patience. I think people jumped out the window because of the pressure put on Jalen Hurts, the label, on Caleb Williams, the labels put on Caleb Williams. He's supposed to be a generational talent. So when we think generational talents, and I know we toss that word around fairly easily, but when we
Too
think
much.
generational talent, we think LeBron James. We thinking a guy that's going to come in and immediately change the trajectory of this franchise. It didn't look to be that way early on. But I feel like Sunday against the Cowboys, albeit against the Cowboys, this is something not only play calling wise, not only for the coaching staff and for the offensive and defensive players on the floor, but also for confidence reasons for Caleb Williams moving forward. Seeing it's like when you're struggling from the field as a basketball player, the best thing they say to do is move into the free throw line, right? You get fouled, get to the line, you watch a few of them go in, and now you start to develop that rhythm. This was that type of game for Caleb Williams, right? Cowboys defense is treacherous. He got the pick on them a little bit. Put up 31 points. You know what I'm saying? Threw for 300 yards, 4 TDs. That's what we want to see. So now you got your rhythm going. So my next question to you is, they got to go to Vegas next week, and they got to play a Raiders team that just blew the doors off somebody this week. They looked hot. They got a guy, Trey Tucker, over there catching all these deep bombs, and that Bears defense has been suspect to those type of plays. What do you say about the Bears next week in Las Vegas as far as momentum off of this previous game, and also what do you see the outcome of that game being?
Well, I see they just need to keep doing what they did. What I love the most from this past Sunday is the 19 play drive where we ran it 11 straight times. That's imposing your will. That's what Ben Johnson want to do. Move these big boys in the trenches. That's what you got them for, guard, and center. Up the middle, get DeAndre Swift going and run it down their throat. They did. The Raiders did have a good offensive game. Trey Tucker, Geno Smith, but that defense is garbage. They gave up 41 points to a backup quarterback in Marcus Mariota, who ain't been good since he was at Oregon.
That's
and won the
facts.
Heisman.
Yeah.
So, Caleb, you need to take what you did this week, add a little bit more every week. It need to be a little bit more, but you need to sustain this level of play because this defense ain't that good. Now they got Max Crosby, unlike Dallas, who traded Marcus Parsons. So it's going to be a little bit tough. We got to make sure we account for him. But the rest of them boys is trash, and we should win this game. The Raiders not all that. Pete Carroll 1,000. He was my man. If you don't know, I'm a Bears fan, but I like USC too. That's why I rock with Caleb. I was rocking with him with Reggie Bush and the boys back in the day, but this ain't that, brother. You trash now. You old. Go ahead. Go to this retirement home. And we going to send them boys. You know, we going to be out there in Vegas, do a little gambling, kick it. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna get this dub and bring it back home. Back to the city. You feel me?
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. I could get with that logic. Hey, man.
Man.
Shout out to the Bears. They did their thing this week. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I like what I seen as a collective unit from every aspect. All three phases of the game did their thing. Hopefully they can build off it, and definitely, you know what I'm saying? Don't let these boys come out here and lay an egg and Caleb Williams look like he did in the first 2 weeks. I'm gonna bring your ass right back on this show, and you're gonna have to defend that.
Hey, you know me, I ain't scared. And like my man Nick Bean, I'll double down.
Hey,
you feel me?
Real talk.
Hey, shout out to my man Nick. I'll come back and we'll talk about it. And I'll be on him on this head top too if he garbage. I don't want to see garbage. They can lose this game, but I don't want to see garbage. As long as he ain't garbage, I'm cool. And we can talk about it for sure.
You basically just want to see progression. You want to see consistency. You want to see somebody that's learning from their mistakes week in and week out. Real talk. Hey, man, you did a hell of a job on the show. I appreciate you stopping by. And like I say, I'm going to hold you accountable, my boy. So don't go anywhere.
Hey, I ain't going nowhere. You know I ain't too hard to find. I can't get away that fast. And I'll be here, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show. Blessings, my baby.
Real talk. Hey, KB, ladies and gentlemen, man. Hey, now
salute.
Let's get this show on the road, right? Let's get this show on the road, and continue talking some football, right? So, if I'm coming in loud and clear, y'all give me the thumbs up. Let me know if y'all can hear me if I'm coming in loud and clear, whoever's in here. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson got released from the Texans. They say it was behavioral, right? And I think it was on both sides. I don't think the guy wanted to get released. I don't want to say it was mutual because nobody wants to lose their job, right? But C.J. Gardner-Johnson released from the Texans 3 games into the season, so it's got to be bigger than what they're trying to make it feel like, right? And you know the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that. Come on back to the Eagles, big dog. Come on back to the Eagles. We definitely could use some C.J. Gardner-Johnson help, whether it be in the nickel, whether it be back there with Blankenship and them boy. We could use C.J. Gardner-Johnson, real talk. But they say it was about teammates, his leadership. The teammates not liking his leadership qualities. He wasn't too happy with his role on the team. I think he wanted to blitz a little bit more, and they was putting him in coverage more, and it kind of impacted his play on the field. But let's be honest, the Eagles know how to use him. Damn it. So bring your ass, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. We going to be waiting for you. Real talk. We going to be definitely waiting for you. Speaking of my Eagles, we had a miraculous comeback because of Jalen Hurts cooking in this second half. Listen, watching this game, man, this is what frustrates me about my team. As bad as the offense looks at times, I don't know if it's the play calling. That's what it seems to be, right? It seems like it might be the result of the bad play calling. New offensive coordinator, was an assistant last year, got moved up. So he should be familiar with what we like to do. Nobody's getting open. I seen even yesterday in the first half, Jahan Dotson and Devontae Smith was in the same area, running damn near the same route pattern, 3 to 4 yards away from each other. Jalen threw an incomplete pass because of it. I don't like shit like this. So I'm having a feeling it's got something to do with the route combinations, right? But at the end of the day, what happened? It's given Jalen started to call his own plays in the second half of this game. It was given A.J. Brown said, look, just give me the damn ball and get the hell out the way, which is something that I've been preaching all season long. We have a spectacular wide receiver and A.J. Brown that we just refuse to use, and I can't understand it for the life of me. This is what we need to look like every single game moving forward. You know how many heads we'll stomp if we look like that team that played in the second half, Jalen Hurts' second half stats alone: 17 of 24, 209 passing yards, 3 passing TDs, 0 interception, 137 passer rating. That's just in the second half for Jalen Hurts. Just in the second half. If we can get that type of production from Jalen Hurts in the first half, like we got in the second half, and not only doing it because we feel like we got to turn the gas on to get back into this ball game, Jalen Hurts would consensusly be known as a top 2, top 3 quarterback in this league. And that's real talk. Because literally then there's nothing you can say against this guy. Because I'm tired of hearing the rumblings. Right? This team, the Rams, by the way, Kyron Williams, you say you hate the Eagles? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure them boys in Philadelphia don't like you too much either. You keep getting your head stomped. That's what you do. You put your uniform on, you show up, and you get your head stomped out. That's what I need you to do, right? Up by 1 point, 44-yard field goal, and we block it. I went ballistic. Lost my voice for a few days because of it. We blocked it. Jordan Davis ran it back. He put his 4.3 speed on display. Jordan Davis, who knew he had 4.3 speed? 336, 40 pound. This man is 340 pounds. 4.3 speed on the block. Blocked it, scooped it, scored it. Jordan Davis, big dog. They said this man was clocked at running 18 miles per hour. This man is 350,000 pounds. Shout out to Jordan Davis for his efforts on that return. Nick Sirianni say he would have just been happy with him scooping it and going down. That's what they teach you. That man said, damn that, this is my moment. It's my time to shine. He scooped that mug up and took it straight to the Baja. I love it. Shout out to the Eagles, man. We played our asses off, and this is a prime example of what I've been talking about. The Eagles know how to beat you in a multitude of ways, and that's why y'all mad. That's why y'all are mad, because your team loses close games, and my team doesn't. Because my team has a top 5 quarterback, and even if your team has a top 5 quarterback too, it doesn't matter. They don't do what Jalen Hurts did on Sunday on a consistent basis, and that's why he needs to be mentioned amongst the greatest quarterbacks in this league today. That's why. He may not throw for a ton of yards like Joe Burrow. He may not be as fast as Lamar Jackson or as athletically built as Josh Allen. He may not be a special arm talent like Patrick Mahomes, but damn it, he's a little bit of all of that shit combined. That's my quarterback. So the next time you try to speak on my quarterback, I want you to think about the last game you seen from your quarterback and your team and what they did. My team won a Super Bowl. My quarterback won a Super Bowl MVP. Watch your mouth. You can talk. Just watch your mouth a little bit when you're speaking on my quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson came out here and took another loss, right? He lost to the Lions. I had the Lions being woeful this year. I'm not going to hold you, right? And the Lions have looked good over the course of the last 2 weeks. Amon-Ra St. Brown, this running game, man, they don't miss them linemen that they lost in the offseason. They don't. These guys look very, very, very good on the offensive side of the ball. Lamar Jackson sacked 7 times in the loss to the Lions. Everybody on the Lions scored a touchdown. Damn that. Everybody in this game scored a touchdown. On both sides of the ball, it's just a touchdown affair. You get a score. You get a score. You get a score. Right? But the question is Derrick Henry. What's going on with King Henry? Is he still the best running back in the league? Let me know down in the comments if Derrick Henry still the best running back in the league, or is he top 2, top 3? Where do y'all got Derrick Henry ranked? Saquon's been struggling a little bit. Last week, he didn't do as much. Teams are keying in to stop these guys. This guy, let me tell you something about Derrick Henry. In my opinion, Derrick Henry is the LeBron James of football. What I mean by that is every single season we have this same conversation. Is this the year Derrick Henry falls off. He rushed for 1,900 yards last year, had over 350 carries last year. How much volume can he take before his body gives out? The running back life expectation in the NFL is like 4 to 5 seasons. How many elite level running backs have run this late into their career, this hard into their career? That's why I call him the LeBron James of the NFL, because it's like we waiting on that day for LeBron James to be like, hey, yo, when you gonna come out here and be like Kobe was when he popped his Achilles? And it's like, damn, we saw Kobe and we was like, yeah, Kobe's done. You know, he gave the game all he had, and he looked bad. And I hated to see Kobe like that. You know, Jordan with the Wizards, you knew he was done. It's like he's done. It's like LeBron with the Lakers, we don't know he's done. Like, yeah, he's not as athletically gifted as he was in his 20s or his 30s. He's in his 40s now, and he's still able to maintain a level of consistency that can put him in an elite class. That's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, regardless of the year or the season that we decide to call it in, he's still able to maintain a level of consistency that's enough to put him in an elite class. But one thing I do say about LeBron's show of regression is the lack of defense, the lack on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes he gets a little lazy. He likes to take plays off. He gets beat back door a lot. Pause. Is Derrick Henry's newfound fumbling problem his sign of regression? Instead of him showing regression in his speed, his athleticism, his quickness to get through the hole, his ability to read the hole and be decisive as a running back, right? Maybe he doesn't decline from that aspect of football like other running backs do. Maybe his decline is coming from his inability to hold on to the football. That could be, maybe I'm fishing. Maybe I'm fishing. But I could be onto something. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comments. I don't know. But it seems like week in and week out, I'm consistently talking about Baker Mayfield. Can we talk about Baker Mayfield again for the third week? This is not going unnoticed, Baker. I see you out here, Mr. Mayfield. I had Baker Mayfield picked to be Offensive Player of the Year this year, and it seems like he's on pace to do just that. Let's reiterate how clutch this kid is. The first 2 weeks of the season, both back come from behind victories. On his arm, on his dime. And this week, he did it again. Bucks line up for a field goal to make it a 9-point game. This is going to put the game away if they connect on this field goal. It gets blocked and returned for a touchdown, giving the Jets a 1-point lead at that point. It's not that much time on the clock, maybe like a minute. They hit that field goal, they go up 9. The ball game is essentially over. Now they need to score, get a quick score, come down, kick an onside kick, which we ain't getting them in today's game, and hopefully come down and score again. But instead, immediately, just like what's been happening all Sunday, it was like 3 or 4 block punts, block kicks going on, right? They blocked the field goal, return it for a touchdown. So now not only have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just gotten a field goal blocked, which could have made this game essentially insurmountable, they went from that position to losing the ball game now with a minute and some change left on the clock. They say, look, man, we got Baker Mayfield on our team. What happened? Minute and a half left on the clock. Baker Mayfield marches down and gets his team in position to kick the game-winning field goal, and they did just that. Hand clap for Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen. This dude has to be by far the clutchest quarterback in the league. It is outstanding what I've been seeing from Baker Mayfield, because think about it. In those situations, it's very easy to choke. Look what happened to the Ravens last week. Derrick Henry fumbles the ball. The Bills come down and score. Lamar Jackson comes down on the other end, still with the lead, mind you. Still with the lead, has an opportunity to close the game out. A few first downs and the game's over. Guess what? Chokes. Doesn't get the first down, has to punt the football. Josh Allen marches down, scores again, wins the game. So Baker Mayfield could have easily came out here, laid a goose egg, and everybody probably would have forgave him due to the fact that he just did it for the previous 2 weeks. But he said no. He put his cape on and he came out here and delivered for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers once again. Baker Mayfield, sir, you are balling. Shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. All these blocked field goals and shit that went down. It was like I'm looking at this shit like, what kind of Sunday is this? It was cracking, though. I rocked with football Sunday this week. It was definitely lit. Football Sunday was lit. This year in general has been lit. A bit unpredictable, but it's definitely been lit for sure. Let's talk about what went down with Aaron Rodgers this weekend, right? Aaron Rodgers, bit inconsistent. He's older. These guys ain't going to put on the performances that they did when they were in their prime on a regular basis, right? A touchdown pass to DK Metcalf in the second quarter, passes Brett Favre for 4th all-time in touchdowns. Where do y'all think Aaron Rodgers ranks all-time for y'all? That's a big feat, right? He's already in the 500 touchdown club along with Aaron Rodgers. I think Drew Brees is in that club. Tom Brady's in that club. Peyton Manning is in that club, and that might be it. I think it's only like 6 guys in that club. Where do y'all have Aaron Rodgers ranked all time? To me, at this point, I don't have any expectations for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just want to see Aaron Rodgers come out here and ball out, have fun. You know, at this juncture of his career, I don't even think it's really about winning a Super Bowl per se. Like, I don't want to say they not trying to win, but I'm saying it's more so about him having fun, you know, coming to grips with the fact that it's about to be over really, really soon, right? And I think that's more important to him than actually winning a Super Bowl, considering he already won one when he was in his prime. But I'm just trying to just enjoy what I'm seeing from Aaron Rodgers, from all of these older guys. Even though Russell Wilson got benched for Jackson Dart, they moving in another direction. They don't like what they seeing from, you know, Russell Wilson. That plan has failed. It didn't work out. I was looking forward to seeing Russell Wilson play out, you know, his last few years in the league, because it's looking like that expiration date is fairly approaching week by week for Russell Wilson. We may be seeing him retiring maybe at the end of this year unless he chooses to be a backup for somebody's starting quarterback. But speaking of backups, right, JJ McCarthy was injured. So guess who comes in and saves the day? Carson Wentz. Shout out to Carson Wentz, man. Former Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz looked phenomenal. And he actually looked better than J.J. McCarthy. Yeah, I said it. Carson Wentz in this one game looked better than I've seen J.J. McCarthy look all season long. Jordan Mason was running the hell out of the ball. He's the true workhorse. Give him the ball nothing less than 20 times a game. Good things will happen. This game was over with by halftime, ladies and gentlemen. Carson Wentz was willing and dealing. I like what I saw from Carson Wentz. Now, I don't think this is going to cause a quarterback controversy, but what it can do, if Carson Wentz starts to roll and J.J. McCarthy gets healthy and these guys are on a 2-game, 3-game winning streak, if he's not questionable to play this upcoming week, I could see them saying, hey, J.J., come sit next to me, right? Learn from this veteran quarterback, right? And let's continue to get you to mature mentally between the ears, because I think that has to be in place first, because we know the talent is there, right? We know the talent is there. We saw it in college. You know, he didn't throw as much. It was a run-heavy team in college. We know the talent is there. The man got picked in the first round for a reason, right? But Carson Wentz was willing to deal it. But he is a backup for a reason. He lacks consistency. So we could see this in the upcoming weeks. Carson Wentz, if he's on fire, I say let him roll. The wash QB's balling this season. The wash, quote-unquote, wash. Feels like a decade since people were having Wentz and MVP era. Man, bro. Man, who you telling, bro? Who you telling? It's crazy, but I like what I saw from Carson Wentz. But speaking of Carson Wentz, how about them Jacksonville Jaguars, right? Dougie P was over there. That was his head coach when he was here. You know what I'm saying? Dougie P, you know, he ain't over there no more. But when I saw the Jacksonville Jaguars name come across my screen, I started to think about Dougie P and what they had going on over there. But how about those Jacksonville Jaguars, man? Right? I like the way that defense has been playing as of late. Newsflash, in case nobody's noticed? Out of all these great elite defenses or defenses coming into the league, everybody anticipated to be elite, like the Ravens, but they've been Gabricio, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars are leading the league in interceptions, ladies and gentlemen. The Jags. And they had 2 against the Texans on Sunday. CJ Stroud, garbage. CJ Stroud has been extremely underwhelming this season. He was supposed to be the guy a few years back. I don't know what I'm looking at when it comes to CJ Stroud, man. Danny Dimes for MVP. Hey, I'm not mad at it. They 3-0. Danny Dimes leaves a dysfunctional situation in the New York Giants organization, goes to the Indianapolis Colts under a more polished offensive play caller in Shane Steichen, right? And all of a sudden, Michael Pittman looks revitalized, looks like the guy that they thought he was going to be a few years ago when they took him out of the draft, right? Jonathan Taylor is revitalized. This guy has been going nuclear. He might lead the league in rushing yards by the end of the season. So that, as bad as I want to say it, I don't see them as a threat to my Eagles, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a little love. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and give them a little love. The Giants, get them a little love. Indianapolis, I'm going to give them a little love, But CJ Stroud, man, you got to get your shit together. You got too many weapons over there not to be doing what you want to do. The offensive line has been struggling as of late, and they're not the best unit collectively, but still, there's guys out here with not the best offensive lines, and they still find a way to thrive. CJ Stroud, get your shit together, all right? Get your shit together. Lots of blowout wins this week. Atlanta got the doors blown off them. Cowboys got the doors blown off them. Cincinnati got the doors blown off them. Tennessee Titans got the doors blown off of them. So did the Raiders, and so did the Saints. This was a cracking-ass week of football, especially for fantasy. A lot of teams got the dog shit beat out of them, and I love to see it. I like blowouts. I don't know about y'all. I like competitive games too, but I like when teams that are supposed to win come out here and show dominance to the inferior teams. I like that. I get a kick out of that, right? Like, the Bears made a statement, right? I feel like if the Bears played a closer game against the Cowboys and they didn't destroy them like they did, 31-14, I don't feel like we ranting and raving about Caleb Williams the way we are. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they felt like they're better than them and they felt like they should win that ball game, and they came out here and showed why they're better than them and showed why they deserve to win that ball game, I like that. I like when weak teams get done over. Do better. You garbage. Do better. You trash. That's real talk. Ravens were getting such a high-level type of hype during the offseason. Man, weren't they? I wasn't the only one. I was part of that hype train. I literally thought the Ravens was going to be something special coming into this season. I did. I had them as a top 5 offense and defense. That defense looks garbage. I take all of that shit back that I said, but it's still early. It's only 3 weeks through the season. Let's see if they get it together, right? Let's see if they make the requisite moves they need to make mid-season to get this show on the road, or just have these guys play better than they've been playing. And also, granted, they played some tough matchups, so let's get that defense a little bit of break. Let's see what they do next week. I think the Bears could turn it around after that win. There's talent there, definitely. Luther Burton. Swift is not the best talent-wise, but he's serviceable enough to get the job done. So I do believe in what I see from the Bears to be legit. I think it is real. The flea flicker is typical Ben Johnson. I like what I'm seeing from the Chicago Bears. So let's just see and hope that they can be consistent moving forward, because if they can, look out. You know what I'm saying? Because the Detroit Lions, man, I might have been wrong about them being Gabricio this year. Detroit Lions look good. You know what I'm saying? Who else they got in that division? Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota under Carson Wentz. JJ, I don't know, man. I don't know. Who's the last team in that division? Green Bay. They look good. I mean, yeah, flamboyant flea flicker. Yeah. Henry needs to not fumble. That's a fact. Derrick Henry, man. 3 fumbles in 3 games, losing 2 of them. That's not a good look, man. Lions opened the playbook and started to look more like themselves. I agree. I think they were a little flustered without, Benjamin, and they wanted to come out here and make a statement like they did against the Bears, and that's where they kind of took off. Facing a former offensive coordinator kind of lit a fire up underneath them, and I think it also lit a fire up underneath Ben Johnson because he came out the following week and showed up and showed out, and that's what it's all about. It's not about what happens during the course of the game sometimes. It's about what you do, how you bounce back, how you recover from that. All right, let's talk about some predictions for this upcoming week, right? Let's do week 4 predictions for the NFL. Let's talk about who I think is going to win these games. Thursday night game, we got the Cowboys versus the New York Giants. As bad as I don't really care about this game, I'm going to have to go with the Cowboys in this one. I just think they should pull it out even without CeeDee Lamb, but I would not be surprised if Jackson Dart comes out here and lights it up because that defense is garbage. Jacksonville versus the Texans. The Texans are in need of a win. That Jacksonville defense has been playing well as of late, but I'm going to take the Texans at home. We got the Steelers versus the Colts. I like the way that Colts defense has been playing. Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf seem to be figuring it out. But in this game, Jonathan Taylor is just too much to handle, and Danny Dimes is on a roll. So I say the tie continues, and I'm going to go with the Colts. We got the Broncos at the Jets. What's understood don't need to be explained, even though Bo Nix hasn't been playing his best version of football. Neither has Justin Fields. He's banged up. I'm gonna go with Bo Nix away. I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos in this one. But I think this game is going to be closer than people think. Minnesota versus Green Bay. I'm going with Green Bay in this game. Even though, like I just said, Carson Wentz has been rolling, I think Green Bay has what it takes to beat this team. They got a nice front four, and I like what they've been doing lately. Let's see. We got the Saints versus the Falcons, 2 bad teams. If I got to choose one, I'm going to take the home team in this one. Give me the Falcons. Cincinnati versus Carolina, 2 bad teams again. This week might be nasty, man. So when it's 2 bad teams, I'm gonna go with the home team. Give me the Carolina Panthers. LA Rams. Wait a minute. Is this? I thought the Bears played the Raiders this week. Let me double check. Do the Bears play the Raiders this week? Was I reading off the right list? Let me see. Let's double check. I'm like, damn, this might not be the right shit that I'm reading off. Bears play the Raiders. What the hell am I reading? All of that was null and void. That was the wrong. Let me try to find this schedule, man. Yeah, no. That whole everything that I don't know whose week 4 that was. That might have been last year's week 4. I don't know. But let's start all over from the top, right? All over from the top. Week 4 predictions for the NFL season. First game, Thursday night, we got the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. This is the real schedule. Okay, let's roll. Seahawks versus the Cardinals. That's more like it. I like that Seahawks defense. I'm going to take the Seahawks away, right? Cardinals to me is garbage. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison seem to get on the right page. I'm going with the Seahawks in this game. Vikings versus the Steelers at home. Like I said, Carson Wentz has been balling out. He balled out that last game, put a blowout on the map. Vikings versus the Steelers. I'm going to take the Vikings, right? Even though that Pittsburgh defense can be trouble, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings in an upset in this game. Chargers versus the Giants. I'm going to take the Chargers without a shadow of a doubt. Even though the rookie Jackson Dart has an opportunity to come out here and light it up, just not against a proven Chargers team who have been rolling hot as fish grease lately. Tennessee Titans versus the Texans. I think this is a bounce-back week for the 0-3 Texans. I think they beat up on the Tennessee Titans, who are also 0-3, but they just got too many rookies and too many young players over there, and the Texans should pull this victory out. It should be an easy one, right? We got the Commanders at the Falcons. The Commanders have been looking serviceable lately, but not as serviceable as they should have been looking or as people have predicted, even though they are a 2-1 football team. The Falcons is just nasty, man. I don't know. Drake London can't get it going. Michael Penix has been god-awful. He got benched last week. I don't know if Kirk Cousins is the starter going into week 4 or not, but just to play it safe, I'm going to pick the Commanders. Next game, we got the Saints and the Bills. What's understood don't need to be explained. The Bills will beat this team by 40. Then we got the Eagles and the Buccaneers, 3-0 versus 3-0. Who's going to break the tide? I've been ranting and raving about Baker Mayfield this entire time, but you know I can't go against my boys. I got to go Eagles. You know why? Because it's Eagles and 1, and we don't lose that often. So we break the Buccaneers 3-0 streak on Sunday. Next game, we got the Browns and the Lions. I'm gonna take the Lions in this one. 2-1 versus 1-2. Browns is garbage. I'm not a real big fan of what the Browns got going on right now. So I'm gonna take the Lions in this one. They might mop the floor with them, even though the Browns put up a good fight last week. I think they won. I think they beat Green Bay in an upset, and they put up a great fight. I like the way that defense played, but let's see them be more consistent against a more potent offense like the Detroit Lions. Panthers and Patriots. Patriots are at home. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. 1-2 teams face off. Somebody got to win this game. I'm going to go with the Patriots. Jags versus the Niners. I'm taking the Niners in this one. Even though the Niners are a bit banged up, and I love the way Jacksonville's been playing as of late, I don't see, I believe the quarterback is questionable, Brock Purdy. So we'll see if he suits up. If not, they're 3-0 and they won the game last week without him. Mac Jones looks solid in that offense, and I don't see him turning the ball over, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars specialty. So give me the 49ers in that game. Colts at Rams. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. I don't even think it'll be an upset. Even though Danny Dimes has been rolling, I'm going to take the Rams in this one. Devontae Adams has found a rapport with Matthew Stafford that I love. Puka Nacua, they do everything for this kid. This kid does everything for this offense. He's running the football. He's catching the football. He's blocking. Puka Nacua is doing everything. And I love me some Kyron Williams, even though the Eagles fans don't like him. Eagles don't like him in general. He don't like us. Kyron Williams is still a productive player in my opinion. So give me the Rams in that game. And then we have a divisional matchup? Ravens versus the Chiefs. Kansas City hasn't looked like Kansas City as of late. And the Ravens are coming off a tough loss. So I think the Ravens should bounce back in this game, even though the Chiefs are at home. That gives them a decided advantage. But I don't see Lamar Jackson dropping 2 games in a row, especially the Chiefs been looking nasty, man, this year. Give me the Ravens. We got the Bears at the Raiders. Bears are going to keep this ball rolling. Give me the Chicago Bears over the Raiders. We got the Packers at Dallas. Jerry World, I'm going with the Packers. I just don't think Dallas has enough to beat the Packers. CeeDee Lamb being banged up may play a factor in this game. Javonte Williams has been running it hard. The offensive line this year looks way better than it did last year. He actually has some holes to run through, unlike Rico Dowdle last year. But I still think the Packers should have enough to take care of them boys. Monday night game, there's 2 of them. We got the Jets at Miami. I'm going to take Miami in this game. And we have the Bengals at Denver. The Bengals are 2-1. The Denver Broncos are 1-2. Give me the Denver Broncos in that game. And that's what we're rolling with. That rookie receiver going to cook. Which rookie receiver are you talking about? Yeah, that was last year's week 4. Yeah. I knew I was tweaking. I'm like, man, we can't be right with that. Something wrong. All right, before I let y'all go, before I get up out of here, from the Bucks, you know how I feel about him. Emeka Ibuka, he's special. I love me some Emeka Ibuka. But as y'all all know, before I get up out of here, let's do OG's top performers, right? Let me take me a little sip of my water. And we're going to do OG's top performers. Y'all know I get turned up for this segment. It's my favorite segment. I love this segment. What is this, week 3? That just passed, week 3? All right, let's do this. Week 3 is in the books, so you know what time it is. OG's top performers, and you know the rules. You want to get in, you better win. Now let's get it popping. Let's go. Number 5, give me Jordan Mason. What he had? 16 carries, $116, 2 TDs in just 3 quarters. This dude was willing and dealing. Without Aaron Rodgers, he's the workhorse. Just get him the ball and get the hell out the way. He's a dog. Number 4, I got Jonathan Taylor. He's been going crazy. They was mad at me for leaving him off the list last week, but I got him put him on the list this week. What he had? 17 carries, $102, 3 TDs. He's looking healthy and prime for another breakout season. He might lead the league in rushing. Number 3, I've never done this in the history of doing this segment. I got 2 counterparts at one number. Number 3, Jahmyr Gibbs / David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs, what he had? 22 carries, 99 total yard, 2 TDs. Monty, 12 carries, $151, 2 TDs. They could not stop this running game with a combined damn near 300 yards on the ground. Slow them down. The Lions was roaring on Sunday. Number 2, give me the entire Minnesota Vikings defense. Them boys was spectacular. 2 interceptions, 1 return for 6, 3 fumble recoveries, 1 return for 6, 4 sacks. Jake Browning was out there seeing ghosts. Where is Joe Burrow? Shout out to Minnesota, man. That defense is nasty, man. And number 1, my quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Oh, you thought I wouldn't do it? You thought I wouldn't do it? 21 of 32, 226 yards, 4 total touchdowns, and most importantly, 0 interceptions to rally his team to the 4th quarter comeback. He is your top performer, ladies and gentlemen. Real talk. Shout out to my quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Can't spell his name, man. No need to spell it. No need to spell it. You know, we all know what it is. Emeka Ibuka's a dog. But I ain't going to hold y'all, man. That's the end of the show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Everybody who watches, make sure you drop a follow on all platforms. And this will be up on YouTube if you cannot or did not catch the entire episode live. I throw it up on YouTube. I'm going to throw it up there tonight. Screw it. I'm going to just throw it up there tonight. And you guys can catch it over there at OGTheBeast_sports on the YouTube channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing me love when you guys do decide to show me love. And as always, OG out. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that sub button. Also, drop a like on the content. And while you at it, check out these 2 videos you see on the screen. OG out.